welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs with my new best friend, Carrie Martz.
Hi
you
there.
You are an incredible entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Because you have, you know, from time to time we get people that have these incredible journeys, and you have an incredible journey.
I've had a couple, but this one has been the most exciting, absolutely.
Let's talk about this one later, but let's talk about your first journey first.
My first journey was opening an advertising agency pretty much right out of college, not knowing anything about it. I sold my Mustang, and my little black Mustang, for $1,500, and I bought business cards and letterhead. And the next day really opened up an ad agency. And
what did you know about the ad business? I mean, there must have been something that you knew about marketing.
I knew I was a good buyer. I
right.
listened to ads. No, I graduated from ASU with a marketing degree. I'd worked for a year and a half for Greyhound, and then I went into the promotional products business. And I had a chance to see how unique solutions really do move merchandise.
Okay.
And with my marketing background and then my sales background, I was lucky enough to start my own company. And one of my first clients was a semiconductor company I knew nothing about. The other one was actually ASU Alumni Association, so I got lucky there. And then 33 years later, I built it into one of the largest advertising PR firms in the state, really in the Southwest, with clients all over the United States and worldwide. We had some in Mexico and Canada as well, and the Bahamas. And I then got really lucky. Bob Parsons, founder of GoDaddy,
sure,
was out looking for an agency to buy, and interviewed quite a few. And he liked me. He liked my firm. He bought it, and that's what started my next journey.
And let me just ask you a question. All right, so Bob Parsons calls, and hey, I want to buy your.
Well, let me clear that up. Bob Parsons does not call. Bob Parsons has people who know people who call.
People, exactly.
Yeah, Bob does not typically pick up the phone.
And you're picking up your own phone. You're like,
they called my cell. Hello.
They call your cell, and you're like, okay, perfect. Yeah, I'd like to meet. I'm all ears.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was not interested in selling, but when someone says, Bob Parsons is buying an advertising agency in your market, you go, it better be me or I'll be out of business, because I don't want to compete with him, because he's brilliant.
And you became basically a partners with him, because...
I was an employee, but I was the CEO.
Right.
We changed the name to Martz Parsons, and I was there 18 months during the transition, building in the way Bob is so famous for, building a much bigger entity to take on and grow more, with resources that I had never had. There were so many lessons I learned in that 18 months that when you're a small business owner, you don't think about spending any dime you don't have.
Right.
And that is just completely against his philosophy. So, boy, that 18 months was worth going. It was like a 10-year degree. It was wonderful.
The day that the deal closed,
I went to Mastro's and I had a really big martini. I gotta say, it was the best martini ever. So,
it was like,
yeah.
That kind of...
Yes, it was, because every night I would go to bed as an owner of a business and think, what shoe's going to drop, and are we going to be able to meet payroll? Are we going to lose a client tomorrow? And then all of a sudden, I had someone backing me up, and the fear, which drove me every day, drives really every small business owner, all of a sudden that was gone, because Bob is fearless.
All what's left then is your creativity, or the freedom to create, essentially.
Right.
And just run wild
with
your mind without having the worries of the mere mortals that are out here.
That and then now something that we as, again, small business owners, and I'm back at it again, you never really get to build capacity, because you can't afford to take more people on preparing for something that you don't have yet. It's cash flow, and that
Correct.
is difficult. And a philosophy that someone who has money affords you is that you never want to work people too hard. You always want to have more people than you need, because then exactly what you said, you open up their minds to do their best work. And if you focus on the people and give them that room to be creative, then they do better work for your clients. And now all of a sudden your clients are happier and they stay with you longer and they refer more business to you. Unfortunately, because we operate small business based on cash flow,
Right.
or banking partnerships that manage that for us, it's really tough to be able to do that.
Did people start looking at you differently now that you had sold your business and that you were tied to the Bob Parsons name? Did people started kind of maybe wanting more from you or wanting less from you? What was that perception?
Well, I had maybe a third of the people that congratulated me and said, you know, we knew someday you'd pull something like this off, and that made me feel really good. Then I had a third of the people that thought, wait, she'll screw this up. Yeah, not going to happen.
Gotcha.
The non-believers, there's
Yep,
always
the
that.
haters, the non-believers.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
And then I had a third of the people who pretended that they were happy for me, but just wanted to get to Bob. And that was really instantly. And I heard that. I heard it would happen, and I thought, oh my gosh, people won't do that. But I had a lot of new friends, and they all wanted something from the Parsons Foundation or from Bob Parsons himself. He can't go anywhere without being approached.
So you had to turn on your spider senses and be able to determine what was going on.
Right.
You are an entrepreneur at heart, and so you saw an opening to create a second business.
Yes.
Tell us about that. That's a fun business.
I'm having more fun than I've ever had in my life. But then 2 minutes later, ask me and I'll tell you, I'm having the worst time I've ever had in my life.
Because now you're an entrepreneur.
You're
back with the beer poodles.
Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, we all go up and down in 24 hours about 100 times. You know, I'm brilliant. I'm an idiot. Why am I doing this? Oh, I know why I'm doing it. So I had initially retired from the advertising business, and I thought, okay, Pilates was fun for a week, and you know, now what am I going to do? And a woman had sent me a toothbrush sanitizer and another product she was coming out with, which was the top of a baby bottle, or they call them binkies, sanitizer. And I was looking at that I might help with that company in some way, and I had them sitting out on my kitchen counter, and my daughter was pregnant at the time, married and pregnant, second child. And I was showing her how cool this is, that you could sanitize a baby's pacifier. And I said, remember in the old days, we drop it, put it in our mouth, and think now it's sanitary, give it back to the child.
I'm still with the 10-second rule or whatever.
So I was showing it to her, and she goes, oh my gosh, that is so cool, especially the toothbrush, because she was a little OCD. And then, you know, she said, you know, Mom, you should tell her she should come up with a way to sanitize vibrators, because, you know, being pregnant, I've read about how it might not be the most sanitary thing to use during pregnancy.
And your reaction was, huh?
I thought, that sounds like a really good idea. No, I wasn't surprised it came out of her mouth. We have that, I know people will be, but we have that kind of sort of open relationship.
But this is what is interesting about your reaction, is that you're looking at it from an entirely marketing opportunity point of view.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what is really cool about your background, and having had the background that you had when your daughter asks you that.
Yeah.
That's what went through your mind.
Well, I have, in my career, been fortunate to bring other people's products to market, in the sense of, once it's there, building a brand for it, building a name, creating a differential, really building up sales, but never my own.
Right.
And so I've been thinking about that. So when she mentioned it, I thought, I'm going to look at this business. You know, that night went online, looked at it. It's a $15 billion industry.
Sure.
Adult toys alone. Forget the bad side of the business that people think. Just the whole sexual health, wellness aspect and the toys and cleaning solutions that support that is $15 billion. In the U.S., it's huge.
In the U.S. alone, $15 billion. In the U.S. And then you start thinking,
I'm thinking, how do I do this? I want to do this. And 5 days later, after researching everything we could on the industry and on UV light and what the use of UV light is for, UVC, said, I think this is a great thing to invest in and start. And blindly did it. And that's the journey. That's where we're at right now. We're no longer blind, we're manufacturing, we're having fun.
But now you have a different set of challenges, right? I mean, it could be widgets. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
But now you have a different set of challenges, which are, where do I get production? How is my production reliable? Where do I get the product? Who manufactures it? Et cetera, et cetera. So this is an entirely different set of challenges.
It is.
How are you navigating that?
We're very, very tightly staffed so that we can manage our cash flow.
Right.
Again, there we go. But we're all multitasking. And I'm relying on people that know more in their specific area, hiring consultants to help. And the tough thing for me was the manufacturing. So I went to China, visited factories, and I found one. And now I'm very involved in China. That's my night. It's their morning, it's my night. And have just recently got back from my second trip there, going again in about a week, and making sure that the quality product that we're promising is being delivered. So that has to be the most complicated part of all of this. We went through the science. I found a microbiologist who helped us, got a great industrial designer. The branding and marketing, I got that down. I know how we're going to build a brand. We absolutely will have that nailed. But just making sure that I understand the import business and dealing with the Chinese has been a whole new set of tools I never had before.
You never had to deal with this thing before.
No.
And all right, so the product itself provides an incredible way to sanitize adult toys.
Yes, the product is the only one in the world. So we have filed for our patent in the US and we'll be filing internationally as well. And it is the world's first and only sanitizer of adult toys that we know, proven scientifically, that we kill 99% of the germs associated with using toys. And because we knew it would be very difficult to get people to accept that, because we're really disrupting the market. People think, oh, I wash it under hot water, I put it in the dishwasher. It doesn't clean them. We've proven it doesn't. And it can damage toys. But because people are a little bit hesitant to buy new technology, we added what they want. So we not only have the sanitizer, but we charge your toys while they're in our box, and we lock the box so little children can't find it. So now we've taken 3 needs and put it in one solution.
Your biggest...
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Yeah, that's the ta-da moment.
That is.
The biggest challenge going forward, what is it?
I think keeping up with the manufacturing side and just making sure that we continue to deliver quality. And then me finding enough time to do everything again, because that's where you're at. It's full circle entrepreneurial. You're just doing too much and burning the candle at both ends. And we'll stay on top as long as I can stay thinking of what the next product is and how do we stay ahead of who's going to be right behind us and keeping people from knocking us off. Got to get those people who do that.
I was gonna make that point, but thank you for that. You're having a ton of fun, aren't you?
Like I said, my fun comes in short 10-minute intervals. But I do love talking about this because I love the reaction I get when I talk to people about what we're doing. You know, they start out, "Whew, Carrie, she's gone a little crazy," and then it comes back with, "Wow, I wish I could have thought of that.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It's a $15 billion industry.
Right. Yeah, and we even went, I did my first seed offering. I didn't know what I was doing, but I went to family and friends, and I got very lucky that my family and friends believes in me and believes in the product, and I am not going to let them down.
Is anything comparable to what you have? Any comparable product?
Oh, there was a product that we found at a show. That's the whole other life now, going to adult shows. I'm not even going to talk about that. Or going to China with toys in your backpack. We're not even going to go there. But
I can see the custom people going through the metal detectors.
It's happened. It's happened. But no, there's one little product on the market that's a plastic case that literally you have to put your product in, press a button. When the button goes off, turn it over again and press the button again. And it sells for about half of what ours will, but it doesn't do anything. We've tested against it. So I like to tell people to go look at it because it'll definitely get people to buy ours.
Did you notice the moment when you said adult toys, the lights went out?
Yeah, I did. I burned bulbs all over, I guess. Hopefully not in my toy cleaners. Hopefully those stay okay.
See, that's what happens. You just have so much energy.
I know.
And the topic could be so taboo that it just, boom, just blows lights out.
No, it's the brightest light in the room, so we can't have extra lighting.
You're my new hero, Carrie. I appreciate it. Carrie Martz, you're just an incredible. Do you have any other ventures now that you're thinking about? You have to have some kind of, you got to be thinking.
No, I'll tell you what I love. I love my two granddaughters, and so my new venture is trying to be the best. They call me Kiki, trying to be the best Kiki on the planet.
I guarantee you we're going to sit here a year from now and you would have found a product for your granddaughters. Oh my goodness, maybe they could...
Oh, I already have that one. I already have that
Amen.
one.
Case
we have it. We have it.
I knew it. I knew it. You already did it.
Yeah, we did it.
A year from now we're going to sit back again and...
We'll talk about it. I promise. I promise.
You're too much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. It's great. It's fun.
With that, we're out.